This is just a little follow-up video from the podcast that I did last week with Matt and Tim from The Push. Some of the things I tried to explain, how I set up and things like that, were probably not easily understood without actually seeing it. So this is kind of just a short follow-up to go with that. This is basically how I set my blind up. My decoys would be right there. Right now my turkey target is right there, but it's corner to corner. It's not squared up. It's not this way. It's like this, right to my target. And there's a center strap. I have a double bull dark horse, which is the 180-degree window around the one side of the blind. And there's a center strap right there. And I just center that strap. I kind of bisect the decoy. Right now it's my turkey target, but it would be the Jake decoy, which is going to be the focal point of those turkeys as they come in. And I would have my turkey vest back here behind me, so it's out of the way. I like to keep everything as organized as possible. My bow is right here in a bow holder that holds it upright. Everything's nice and organized. The string tracker would be screwed right in here. I'll do a little something on that one, on that later. And you know, the string would be here to the end of the arrow, and it would be, again, out of the way. No sticks, no grass, no nothing getting in the way. Everything's organized. It's within reach of where I got to go with minimal movement. A real important thing is you don't want the bow holder right in front of you, because then you have to deal with the bow holder with your bottom limb. You could hit it. You'd have to pull it out and put it back down, you know, to get it out of your way. So I like to keep it off on this side. I'm left-handed, so I like to keep it off on this side. So once I pull it out, it's out of the way and I don't have to deal with it. And the camera, as you can see, is on this side. I like to control it. So if I have a bird and I know they're coming, I'll work the camera until, you know, until they get to a relatively close distance, but not right on top of me. I don't want them to be right on top of me when I reach for my bow. But, you know, if I know, you know, if they've come from 100 yards, say, and they're already within 50 yards, that's when, you know, I'll grab my bow. I'll go for the bow. I'll get it. I'll put it right here, and I'll hold it against my leg with the opposite hand. I'll let go, and I'll go back to the camera. I'll get the camera all set. I'll do what I have to do with that. I don't want it too tight, so as the turkeys move around the decoy, I don't want them to go out of frame. And then that's when I would go for the bow, and I would just get myself, put the limbs on this side. I have nothing here, nothing to impede my bottom limb. Top limb's got plenty of clearance. And that strap right now, as I'm sitting, is right bisecting that turkey target. So I have my arrow in an arrow holder. I'll dislodge that, and now I'm ready to go. Now whenever the shot happens, it happens, and I'm ready. You know, I can be right here, and just ready to go. If I have to shoot on this side, I got wide open here. Shoot on this side, wide open here. I would just, you know, say my shot's right there. He's where I want him to be. Boom. And that's, you know, I have nothing in the way. And now if I have to, I just goes right back in there. The string is going out, and I'm right back on the camera again. Like I said, I think it's made by HME, and there's a couple different ones. It may not even be made by them anymore, but it just gets stuck in the ground like that. And that other prong, once it's in there, you can step on that little L shape right here and just push it right into the ground with your foot. This is adjustable depending on your bow and what kind of angle you need with your limbs. The white tape on there is just on there for the purpose of in the dark you can see it. Like if I'm setting up in the dark and I don't want to put any lights on because I know I'm close to birds, I can see those two pieces of white tape a lot easier than I can see the black of the bow holder itself. This is just something to show you what the blind, how it's corner to corner and pointed right at the target. This is a corner here, and you can see, if you look right through the blind, you can see what I mean. This is a back corner, it'll be a front corner right out front. This is my golf cart that I talked about. Nothing special, just an old pull cart that I camouflaged. These are the straps that would hold the golf bag on the bottom and on the top here, and it folds just to make it a little more compact. And I have 3 bungees, 1, 2, 3, and that just helps hold you know, I can help hold not only the blind, but I can strap my bow to it if I want to. I can strap decoys to it. I could strap the tripod is the main thing that I strap to it besides the blind, and I hang my camera bag on it. And so I'm just gonna go quick, and I'll show you how I put all that stuff together, and how I knock the blind down, how I fold it up, how I put it in the bag, and how I load this thing up. So I would just kind of leave everything in the blind. I take the bow holder out of the ground and just lay it flat. Fold up my chair and lay it flat in here. Same, the bow might go outside. I might leave it in here. If I'm with Cade, he'll be outside. I'll hand him all the gear, and I will do it that way. But then, you know, I'll close this window and I'll collapse the blind. So that's, you know, that's that. And then what I usually do is I'll kind of bat wing it. I'll get the two wings like this, and I'll wind it up as tight as I can inside these two wings of the blind. Make it as small a diameter as I can. Get it ready to go in the bag. Keep it tight. Slide the bag over top. Like I said, this blind is over 10 years old, so the bags are different now. I know some of them have zippers on them, and they're probably a little easier to deal with. So that's what I usually do there. I'll get that in there. I'll get my bow holder. I'll slide it in there. I'll keep that right on the bottom so it's not poking me when I'm carrying it on my side. If I'm carrying it on my side, I'll get this. I'll slide this in there to one side. Get it in there as far as the blind. Just like this. That there. This strap really isn't necessary when I'm using the cart, but I like to keep it on there in case I do have to take off without the cart. I still have it. I can sling it over my shoulder and take off with it if I need to. So I'll put that back on. Get it pretty tight, and then it goes on the blind. I mean, you know, on the cart. And the cart just goes like that. I'll get it on there, get it close, and I'll cinch this one on first. This is the one that actually was made to hold a golf bag. So that's on there. I'll make sure it's on the bottom, make sure it's staying on there. And I'll get the bottom strap that comes on the cart attached as well. So now it's not going to go anywhere. But I also have these to attach like this. I'll put these around here. You know, the tripod would be within these bungees. This just helps hold everything tight. If I wanted to put some decoys on here, I could put them on there. There's times when I put my bow in here, you know, I could just slip my bow here, undo this bungee, come around here, keep it in there like that. I mean, I could even do the top one if I wanted to. There's plenty of room just to hold it extra, give it a little extra strength, put it around the limb, around the string, and hold it. Now I don't have to carry the bow. Like I said, the tripod could go in there, everything else. It's a pretty cool package, and then you're ready to go. And this is how I carry it without the camera bag hanging in the front. It's a little heavy in the back, so I'm constantly wanting to fight the weight, but this actually counterbalances it really well, and it ends up nice and light, and then I'm off. Okay, so let's say now I got to my spot where I want to be. I've carried my bow in, so I'll lay that down kind of out of the way, just so I know where it is. Maybe lean it up against the tree if I have that, or just so it's out of the way of the blind. I'll take my camera bag off, and I'll put that with the bow, so I know where that is. I'll usually get the blind up first, and then I'll go set my decoy. So, you know, I'll undo the straps, nice and quiet, so nothing's dinging, nothing's clanging metal to metal or anything like that. and take the blind off nice and quiet. I'll usually move this out of the way so it's not in the picture. I can't make any noise with it. Take the strap, put that over by the bow. Take this, I usually reach in and try to grab the bow holder if I can get it. If it's in a spot where, just so when I pull it out it doesn't make, because if I just turned everything over and let it come out, it would probably clank against the metal part of the seat or maybe a part of the blind. So I usually just, I'll take it out and leave it right where I know it's going to end up inside the blind when I open the blind up. So say the blind's going right here, I'll leave that right there. I'll reach in, I'll grab the chair, try to slide it out as quietly as possible, and I'll do the same thing with that. I'll leave it right in the middle of where I think the blind is going to end up. Take this out nice and quiet. Again, lay it inside the blind where I think it's going to be. Take out the blind. Get the one wall squared up. Pop it through. Take the other ones. Pop the roof. Then all the walls. And probably, or let's just say I was facing it right towards the camera. This is where it would be. And that's it. I mean, and then I would usually have the back door open. I'd go set my decoys up, 6-7 yards, whatever it is. And then I have everything inside the blind. This would go right up front because it would be out of the way. My bow holder I would stick in the ground over here. And my chair would be right here. And I'd set it up in this corner, in the back. Again, with some clearance back here so my elbow doesn't hit. Even when I draw or even when I follow through, my elbow goes back a little bit. It won't hit. Maybe explain it a little bit better how I rig the arrow and the string tracker. This is the arrow. You can see the Velcro, the little Velcro strip right behind it. It's about a 1/2 inch strip there. It just goes around the arrow. And that's the hook side. It's not the soft side that you would typically use for like on your shelf, you know, for a shelf material or a side plate or something like that. This is the hard stuff. And this is the tracker. I have a hole here on my quiver, and I just screw it right in there. The hole is slightly smaller than the stud on the string tracker originally, so I just self-threaded it in there in the rawhide. You just tie an overhand, you double it over, about 6 inches of it. You tie an overhand knot in it, and it makes a loop like that. You can see it. See the loop there. And that little bit extra I usually cut with the broadhead just to get that tag end off. And what I do with the broadhead is kind of dull, but so now I got the loop, and the next thing I do is I take the string and bring it through the loop, which makes it like a cinch. So now I can make it small, you know, back and forth. So what I do is I pass that over the broadhead, nice and careful so I don't cut it or weaken it. And then I'll put this, I'll put it right on the Velcro and then cinch it down tight. Just like that. And you can see it there. I mean, and it's not going anywhere. I can pull it. The string will break before it lets go.